In this video, we are going to talk about 3 locations that are all in Tokyo: Ryogoku, the Edo-Tokyo Museum, and the Tokyo Skytree. Ryogoku is the sumo district of Tokyo and is located east of the Sudaima River. The district encompasses the streets around Ryogoku Station, the Kokujikan Somo Hall, and the Edo-Tokyo Museum. As pictured here, we can see that the area that is Ryogoku, including the Kokujikan Sumo Hall and the Edo-Tokyo Museum, which is effectively down the street. This is an external view of the Kokujikan. The Kokujikan Sumo Hall was opened in 1985 and seats over 10,000 people. It is the 4th sumo hall to stand in the Ryogoku area. Prior to the construction of the first sumo hall, sumo tournaments were held outdoors, usually in places such as temples. The current sumo arena hosts 3 of the 6 annual tournaments held in Japan. These tournaments are in January, May, and September. This is an internal view of the Kokujikan. And it may be a little difficult to see, but there are in fact people down here who are participating in sumo wrestling. This is yet another internal view of the Kokujikan. However, this time we are seeing a ceremony take place, which is often part of the sumo wrestling tournament itself. Ryogoku is also famous for a hot pot dish called chankonabi. This is a favorite dish among sumo wrestlers and is often consumed as part of weight gaining diets. The dish consists of vegetables, seafood, and meat. This is a picture of what chankonabi may look like. If you go to different restaurants in the Ryogoku area, they have their own version of chankonabi, but pretty much it consists of the same types of foods, such as seafood, vegetables, and meat, as previously mentioned. So 6.8 miles from the sumo hall is the Edo-Tokyo Museum, which, as previously mentioned, is located within the sumo district of Ryogoku. And if you remember from the map that I showed at the beginning of the slideshow, it is effectively down the street and over. The museum itself opened in 1993 with the mission of preserving the traditional and historical culture of Edo, Japan. The museum is open from 9:30 to 17:30 in military time, or 9:30 to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, and from 9:30 to 19:30 or 7:30 p.m. on Saturdays. The museum is actually also closed on Mondays. This is an exterior of the museum. And this is an internal shot of the museum where you can actually see that the museum itself is set up to resemble an Edo period village. Admission to the museum is 600 yen, which in American money, that is $4.62 roughly. The museum is divided into two main sections, the Edo zone and the Tokyo zone. So in the Edo zone, there are multiple miniature displays which are designed to give visitors an idea of what life in Edo, Japan may have looked like, whereas the Tokyo zone focuses on the development of the city from the Edo period until modern day. Also, a side note, as of April 1st, 2022, the museum is temporarily closed for renovations and is set to reopen tentatively in 2025. So on the next slide, we actually have an example of what one of the displays in the Edo zone part of the museum looks like. As depicted here, we get an idea of what schooling in this period of Japan may have looked like, or what, if we lived during the Edo period, we might have seen if we were to walk into a school. This is an example of one of the displays of architecture and infrastructure that we see in the Tokyo zone of the museum. And as previously mentioned, this part of the museum focuses on how the city of Tokyo went from being the capital city of Edo to the modern version of Tokyo that we know today. So the Tokyo Skytree is the third and final destination on our journey in this presentation. It is a broadcasting and telecommunications tower that is 1.98 miles away from the Edo-Tokyo Museum. The building opened on May 22nd, 2012, and is the world's tallest freestanding tower at a height of 2,080 feet, which is equal to 634 meters. The Skytree is also the tallest structure in Japan and is one of the only places where you can see Mount Fuji from Tokyo. So this is a picture of the Skytree itself. On the next slide, we have a view of the Skytree on the right-hand side and Mount Fuji on the left-hand side. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find many good pictures from the Skytree capturing Mount Fuji, which is most likely due to the issue of weather and other factors. So instead, I went with this view that really captures both how far away the mountain is from the Skytree, but also that even though they're that far, it's kind of crazy that the Skytree is one of the only places in Tokyo that you can see Mount Fuji, which just speaks to the absolute height of the mountain. So within the Tokyo Somachi, which is a retail multi-level complex that is right next door to the Skytree, there are many shops, an aquarium, a planetarium, and a rooftop garden. The Samada, the Samada Aquarium is located on the 5th floor of the Tokyo Somachi, and it houses the largest indoor tank in all of Japan. Admission for an adult to the aquarium is 2,300 yen, or $17.71. The aquarium is open from 9 to 21, or 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. The Konica Minatola Planetarium Tenku is on the 7th floor of the Tokyo Somachi. Standard admission for the planetarium is 1,500 yen, or $11.55, and it is open during the hours of 11 to 20, which is 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. The Skytree Dome Garden is a little known rooftop garden on the 8th floor of the Tokyo Somachi. So this is a picture of the penguin tank in the Samida Aquarium. On the next slide, we have this beautiful night sky, which we can see as part of the Konica Minatola Planetarium Tenku. And this last slide is just the dome garden, which it's very small, but it is quite beautiful and peaceful. And of course, the Skytree itself is right here. So thank you for hanging out with me, and I hope you learned something important and interesting about these locations. Bye, guys.